Most people grow up with the same financial formula. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe job, and you'll live comfortably. But Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad reveals a harsh truth. Following this path rarely leads to wealth or freedom. Millions remain trapped in a cycle of working harder while never escaping financial stress. The wealthy, however, play by different rules. They don't just work for money. They make money work for them. Kiyosaki grew up influenced by two very different father figures. His biological father, his poor dad, was highly educated with a stable government job, yet struggled financially throughout his life. His rich dad, the father of his best friend, had little formal education but became a successful entrepreneur and investor. These two men taught him to completely different approaches to money. One emphasized security and steady employment. The other emphasized financial independence and entrepreneurship. The first lesson is powerful. The poor and middle class work for money, but the rich make money work for them. Poor Dad believed in getting good grades, finding a job, and earning promotions. Rich Dad believed in building assets that generate income continuously. Independent of time worked. This leads to one of the most important concepts: assets versus liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Many people confuse the two. A house with a mortgage, maintenance costs, and taxes may feel like an asset, but it is actually a liability if it drains your cash flow. The wealthy focus relentlessly on acquiring real assets, rental properties, businesses, stocks, bonds, and intellectual property. Meanwhile, the poor accumulate liabilities disguised as assets, keeping them trapped in financial stress. Kiyosaki illustrates the rat race vividly. People work hard, get raises, then spend more. A bigger house, a new car, expensive vacations, and other luxuries increase expenses, keeping them dependent on their job. Rich Dad taught Kiyosaki that escaping the rat race requires first building assets that generate passive income. Once your assets produce enough to cover your living expenses, you achieve financial freedom. Financial education is another pillar. Poor Dad believed in formal schooling, degrees, diplomas, and job security. Rich Dad argued that schools rarely teach practical financial skills. Reading financial statements, understanding taxes, managing risk, and investing wisely are far more critical than memorizing facts. Without this knowledge, even high earners remain financially trapped. Risk and failure are viewed differently by the two dads. Poor Dad avoided risk at all costs, fearing mistakes and loss. Rich Dad embraced calculated risk and saw failure as a learning opportunity. Every successful entrepreneur or investor has experienced failure. The key is to learn from it, adjust, and continue forward. Fear of failure keeps people poor, while embracing it strategically builds wealth. Entrepreneurship is another central lesson. Poor Dad encouraged stable jobs, benefits, and pensions. Rich Dad encouraged building systems and businesses that generate money without constant effort. Leverage is critical. Employees trade time for money, while business owners and investors use leverage to multiply results. A single property, business, or investment can generate income continuously, even while you sleep. Taxes are another critical distinction. Employees earn, get taxed, and then spend. Business owners and investors earn, spend on deductible expenses, and get taxed only on the remainder. Over time, this difference compounds dramatically. The wealthy understand laws, structures, and corporations, which allows them to legally protect and grow their money. Discipline and delayed gratification are essential. Most people spend impulsively, chasing consumerism and lifestyle inflation. The wealthy prioritize acquiring assets first, then luxuries later. Consistent self-control is a key factor in long-term financial success. Rich Dad emphasized learning. Through action, theory alone is not enough. Investing in a small stock, starting a side business, or buying a small property provides lessons no classroom can teach. Mistakes become tuition for real-world financial education, working to learn. Not just to earn is another crucial insight. Jobs should be chosen for the skills they teach, not just the paycheck. Learning sales, negotiation, investing, leadership, and money management builds abilities that compound over time. Far beyond any temporary pay raise, Kiyosaki stresses the importance of multiple income streams. Relying solely on one paycheck is risky. The wealthy diversify through businesses, real estate, dividends, royalties, and other sources of passive income. This provides security and accelerates wealth creation. Mindset is perhaps the most fundamental difference. Poor Dad viewed money as a source of problems. Rich Dad saw money as a tool. If you see money as evil or unattainable, you subconsciously push it away. If you view it as freedom and opportunity, you attract it. Financial intelligence starts with the right mindset. Additionally, Kiyosaki discusses the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, mentors, financial advisors, and a community that shares your financial goals can dramatically accelerate learning and success. Poor Dad often discouraged risk-taking and advised caution, while Rich Dad encouraged seeking guidance from those who had achieved the success you aimed for. Finally, the ultimate lesson: it's not how much money you make, but how much you keep. How hard it works for you, and how many generations you sustain it for. Poor Dad worked for a paycheck. Rich Dad built assets, created systems, and left a legacy. Ask yourself, are you working for money, or is your money working for you? Every financial choice moves you closer to freedom or deeper into the rat race. The principles in Rich Dad Poor Dad: acquiring assets, embracing risk, building income streams. Learning from failure, developing a wealthy mindset, and surrounding yourself with the right people or practical. Actionable and timeless. Financial freedom is not reserved for the lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to learn, take action, and think differently about money. Start today and let your money begin to work for you.